How you doing? My name is Rashawn Miller, and today I'm going to be doing my 303 presentation on the LA Rams. The reason that I picked them is because they're an older organization, one of the older teams in the NFL with a lot of history, a lot of historical players. When you go into detail about the organization, the owner, Stan Concrete, he owns half of the sport teams in Colorado, which is pretty cool. Sean McVay, the head coach, younger guy, around his early 30s. He's been coaching for about 12 years now. Before that, he spent 3 years in Washington, which is pretty cool. He's had different roles and everything. Recently, he just went to the Super Bowl in 2018, which was pretty cool. The Rams, obviously, they have one of my favorite players, Jalen Ramsey, one of the highest paid cornerbacks in the NFL. Also, tag along Aaron Donald, Defensive Player of the Year 2 years ago. They have a lot of young talent, a lot of young players in the facility. They have a very bright future, especially with Robert Woods and Corey Cooper, which is a good player also. When you think about the history of the team, started in Cleveland, which what a lot of people don't know, in 1937, which is pretty old. They weren't that good, but in 1944 they won the NFL championship, which was the Super Bowl. Later on, 2 years later, in 1946, they moved to Los Angeles, and their first and successful coach, George Allen, 5 years. This is crazy. 49 wins, 19 losses, and 4 ties. One of the best records in Rams history. They won 5 NFC championships in the 70s, so obviously they were a pretty dynasty team in that era. Later on in 1995, they moved to St. Louis, played in the Eras Jones Dome, and in 1999 they won the Super Bowl, but that involved Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk, Tony Ho, a lot of historical players on that team. In 2016, they ended up moving back to LA, which now they share a stadium with the LA Chargers as well, which is pretty crazy having 2 NFL teams playing in the same stadium, which is pretty cool. They provide quality football, primetime football in a great place, sunny place, always good weather. Obviously the fans are enthused with them being back in LA, being able to watch them, being able to see them play and see the star players shine. Obviously what they want and the ultimate goal is to win a Super Bowl, to be a dynasty, to be a great team in the NFL, be consistent. They also do a lot of charity work in the city, raise a lot of money for the team, for the homeless, which involved raising about $100,000 recently for the homeless, and raising about $500,000 for the homeless as well, which was pretty cool. The reason that I love the Rams is because they're a young team and they're a young coach, and I just see a bright future with him. The long-time goal for them, I would say, is just keeping up what they're doing, staying consistent, keeping the young talent in the locker room, leadership, keeping the organization at its peak, and keep moving forward. One thing else I would say is that what a lot of people don't know is that the Rams are the Rams, and they're a great team.